own military is not capable of defending that base. It's not capable of defending the far base you have. And this Nidus Worm, again, I don't really agree with. It's a fancy little trick that you don't need to be doing right now. A Nidus Worm is nice for backdooring, but why do you need to backdoor when you just demolished his entire army and are also attacking his front door with a whole bunch of Ultralisks? You have no real army to backdoor with. And Marauders are such a pain to Ultralisks, it's not even cool. But because there's so many Marauders, you should be able to make a whole bunch of Mutalisks. However, you don't have the gas income to make Mutalisks. You need really 3 bases, so 6 geysers for Mutalisks. Also, you are coming up lax again on your upgrades. Your Ultralisks are 1-1, and, well, they have their armor upgrade, which is kind of nice. But it's not as good as it could be, and I just accidentally paused the replay. Moving on. Well, once again, the Nidus Worm has already been scouted, the army is already here, hence the backdoor advantage has been nullified. This attack should be cancelled, but it's not going to be. You're going to lose everything. I'll just go ahead and tell you, you don't even have to look. Tanks are sieging up. You're done already. Marauders are here. they're kiting. I love the staggered pattern of these tanks. I don't see enough Terrans doing it. It really is sad. But again, this is a really good opportunity to use spawn larva. There you go, you do. And you're keeping up production a little bit, but again, if we look at your gas right now, your income's just not there for gas. Oh my god, did you actually kill everything? That's kind of absurd. How did Terran let that happen? That's really, really, really absurd, actually. I'd be embarrassed for this Terran. Which means you, Dot. In this case, I'm not sorry. Why? Because you have an Ultralisk in your 3rd base, and you haven't even touched it. Since this Nidus Worm is still alive, I'd say this is okay, but now lots of Thors are showing up. I think this is going to make some very sad Ultralisks. But by the way, I did not actually know that Ultralisks hitting on Thors will damage the buildings underneath them, in this case supply depots. And this is just kind of Terran being stupid Terran, and letting you win with this one. But you should be maintaining production right now. You have 1,800 minerals. This is bad for having 4 bases running, and now your Nidus Worm is destroyed finally. You really, up to about the 4th base, each base should be maintained by a queen, and you should make maintaining your queens your #1 priority over anything else. I cannot stress that enough. Like, forget your tech. Use spawn larva. Don't make units. Use spawn larva so you can make more units later. Using spawn larva every time you hover over your base should be your #1 priority. And this is Terran once again being a stupid Terran by not actually running his SCVs away at all. Because, well, actually it looks like you did try to burrow. But, either way. Zerglings do a lot of damage to SCVs. SCVs just can't fight back, especially when Zerglings have upgrades. And in the beginning it's okay. But not really. Not even then. Your gas on your expansions are very, very late, although you are getting them. Generally, you want to expand for the gas and production capability, not necessarily for the mineral income. It depends on what you're trying to make at any given time. Like, for 1 base, Zergling Roach, yeah, you can do that on 1 base. You want 2 for Hydralisks, Mutalisks. You want 3 for anything else. You want 4 if you want a lot of anything else. But right now, you have a very solid upper hand advantage. You have Terran feeling afraid to move out of his base from Nidus Worms. You have Terran worried about his 3rd. You have Terran pushed back for military. And he knows you're pumping out Ultralisks like nobody's business. And this is Terran's death mistake right here. He's trying to attack instead of just mass up and get an army. Because the Zerglings just wrap around, murder the Marauders. And now the Ultralisks are coming through to finish them off. And now that's too many Ultralisks for anything to happen, and the Thors are just going to die. Ultralisks are kind of amazing. And here comes a brilliant Speedling backstab. I love this. I don't see that many Zerg players actually do this, but it is amazing when it happens because it almost always works. You are making Ultralisks but still have a lot of money. And this is primarily because you're limited by gas. However, don't make an army entirely of Ultralisks. Have a nice backup of Zerglings, which you do have, but not enough of them in my opinion. You did get a queen down there, which is good. I'd like to see this 4th base with a queen. But that goes down to macro, and that just comes down from practice. And this, we're going to pause the replay again for I think the last time. Never, ever, ever, ever morph banelings in combat. Just don't do it. Unless it's an emergency, just don't do it. Because that not only do they take a combat unit away, the banelings can be destroyed pretty fast. Like it's not going to be this set, it's going to be another set of banelings that happens to. And while yes, it's nice to have banelings in combat, just make them ahead of time, please. If only to make me happy. Let's see, I didn't even look at Terran's play on this game, but I think Terran's macro is terrible. I don't know. I have to go back and look at it on his side. But his macro is genuinely bad. At least his unit production has been. I think that'll go back to him being limited by worker counts as well. This, I do have a problem with. This random smattering of speedlings is never going to get you anywhere. Like you did snipe a Thor, yes. Generally, that's not going to happen because you're just sending 6 Zerglings here, 6 Zerglings there. And in most cases, Terran's just going to draw a line and say, hey, screw you, pal, you're not getting past here. And then when the big fights come, you're just not going to have enough stuff to win. And you're expanding here because you're choked on gas, because your geysers are slow on your other bases, and also because you just have the money to expand. And just as a little fun note, where Terran scans, Terran will attack. I'll go ahead and say that again. Where Terran scans, Terran will attack. I actually don't think he attacks in this one, so it's a horrible, horrible example, but as a rule of thumb, where Terran scans, Terran will attack. Also, Terran had a 4th base at the gold. Anybody care to guess where it is? I know, it's right there at the top. Oh, I love Zerglings going to work on Hellions when they get this round, but that could have been so bad. Okay. That little group of units here, we're going to take control of the camera away from you for just a moment. This is a problem with growing banelings in combat. This right here. Just one made it to see active duty, and even he didn't make it. That was just a complete waste of resources and combat units that entire time. And even though you have Terran on the rungs, I will admit, pretty much you've won this game long before this point. But don't be complacent. Always be scouting for extra bases. Always be scouting for extra bases. Always be scouting for extra bases. Because Terran has 2 bases that you don't know about. And if those happen to be operable, say with 12 racks at each base, you'd be in a really bad place, even though you think you're on the cusp of winning. It's just no fun at all to have happen to you.